to my live broadcast, or do I say welcome to my channel, Okonjo Christopher Television on YouTube. I'm happy and I'm highly elated to be out with you this afternoon. Actually, it's afternoon in Africa, in Nigeria, in Abuja. I'm in Abuja and I'm transmitting. Right now, I'm on a high frequency. I just want to, have a chat with you, whoever is coming on air at this moment and at this hour. So I want to say you are welcome. If you are going to join me on this live streaming, I'm telling you, you are most fortunate and privileged, because we're just going to be chatting. We're just going to be saying some things among issues of the heart. How do they call it? That is the matters of the heart. We're going to just be rubbing shoulders and rubbing minds. I just want to have a chat. Have you ever had something, bothering your heart? You have some issues. Have you had some pressing issues in your heart? Or you have some questions you have been asking and you're looking for answers, just like a little boy. When we're children, when we go to church and they're teaching us the Bible, we're so curious, to know. We are adamant and we are ready to ask questions. We're told that it's only intelligent children that ask questions. Yes, when you have a child that asks questions, please don't stop them. That's a child that is intelligent. I have a little girl that is just 13, and I have a boy that is 19, and from the two of them, I see the girl asks me questions most of the time, and I'm excited because I grew up like that. Please, thank you for joining me. Wherever part of the world you are, hanging or you are connecting from. I sincerely welcome you. I'm highly elated to have you in this, this live stream this afternoon. Please, can you kindly give me a thumb up? Let me know you are there, because I am here. I will not be here if you are not there. So can we just have a fellowship? Can I say hi? Can you give me a thumb up? Me that you are there and I'm here, and we are having a fellowship. I'm happy to have you at this time, because like I was saying, if you have a child, as I'm waiting for you to show up, I'm happy to have you. And make sure, don't just show up, please go like. Give me a like. If you look at the up of your phone, you see 3 buttons at the right hand side. Just press it, and you just like the like. And as you like, please make sure you subscribe. As you subscribe, make sure you press the notification button. As you're pressing the notification button, it's telling you that each time I drop a video, you'll be the first to see it. So once again, you are welcome. I welcome you to this live stream at this hour. I was saying something before I take a detour. I said I have a boy and a girl, and the girl is very inquisitive. Most of the time she asks questions. That tells you that's an intelligent person. So when you have a child that asks questions, please don't stop them. It's a sign of, it's a child that is intelligent. You know they're intelligent because they want to know. They don't want anything to bypass them. They ask questions. No matter any question they ask, please just be ready to give them an answer. Don't be tired to give them an answer. When you see any child that asks you a question, it's because they want to be educated. One of the fastest ways you want to be educated is when you ask questions. Even when you know, but you don't know better. For clarity's sake, you ask questions. So I like children that ask questions. I like to be in the midst of children that ask questions, because you must answer every question that is in their mind. So today, as I'm out on live streaming, I'm like that child, that little boy of yesterday. Don't mind my beard that you are seeing. You see, my beard does not betray me. The white beard that a man has does not automatically say who he is. You see, age is just a number. But what makes a man is your heart. People will ask me, like the live stream I was having, somebody asked me, 2 or 3 people asked me, how old are you? I'm 58. And I'm proud to say it, but I don't look it. You understand what I mean? I don't look it. Age is a number. What matters is my relationship with you. As you're out there, I'm here. I want to have a chat. So you see, what makes you a youth is not your age. You can be 100 years, but as long as you can relate with your environment, pardon me to say that word, as long as you can relate. When I mean your environment, you can relate with people that you come across, and you don't have any biased mind. You don't have any regrets. You don't look down on the people that you relate with. You don't look at their age. What matters to you is, is the communication. Life is all about communicating. So I want to relate. I want to chat. I want to have a discourse. That's the whole essence why I'm out this morning. So I'm going to be like a little boy. Pardon me to be, because age is just a number. I have so many questions posing my mind, and I felt I should come out and, and pour it out. But eventually I'm going to get an answer to some things that are there that I've been looking for an answer. So that's why I said I like children that ask questions, because it makes them more intelligent. It is said that when you want to hide anything from an African, you write it down. Africans don't read. Yes, we have been relegated on that level that we don't read. But I'm telling you, Africa has one of the best brains all over the world. How comes we have the best brain? They say you want to hide anything from an African, you hide it. I seems to disagree with that. I don't agree with it. I disagree to agree. Or I disagree to agree with that. That if you want to hide anything from an African, you write it down. Africans read. In short, Africa has one of the best brains in the whole world. We have one of the best surgeons. We have one of the best doctors. We have one of the best architects. We have one of the best scientists. We have one of the best footballers in the whole world. Africa is gifted. Africa is blessed in both natural and human resource. You agree with me if you are joining me right now. Can you give me a thumb up? Tell me you agree with me. Well, I'm going to talk on a topical issue this morning. It's a question I have in my mind. Why is Africa where it is today? That's the title of my topic. Yeah, that's the title of my topic. I just delved into what was in my mind this morning, or this afternoon rather I would say. Why is Africa where it is today? How did Africa get here? With the level of moral decadence, in Africa is high than anywhere in the whole world. But I just reminded us right now, Africa, has the best brains. Thank you if you're joining me right now. Can you give me a thumb up? Tell me where you are connecting from. I just want to know. I will be excited to know what part of the world you are connecting with. I'm connecting from Nigeria. I'm connecting from Africa. So it will be nice to know what part of the world you are connecting with so that we can have a discourse. I tell you, you are going to have a swell time today as you join me in today's discourse. Actually, we're going to be chatting. We're going to be chatting. So give me a thumb up. Give me the like. Just like the like and subscribe. And as you subscribe, please press the notification button. So that any time I drop a video, you will see it. Please don't just come and go. I need you to be here with me. Without you, I cannot have any discourse today. I cannot be talking to myself. I'll be soliloquizing. But if I'm talking to you, you are talking back, then we are communicating. It takes two to communicate. So I want to be sure you are there and you are giving me the like. I told you I'm going to be talking on a very topical issue today. Very interesting topic, and I want us to interact. I want you to talk back to me. I've been talking about some interesting topic because actually I've been trying to, to create a community of YouTubers that have the same mindset, the same interests, and the same judgment, the same mentality, the same vision, the same cabod. You know what I'm trying to say? Because why? The definition of community is the people that have the same interests and the same mindset. So if we have the same mindset, I'm telling you, the heavens is not our limit. The heavens is our starting point, because God has placed man here. I treated the topic and I titled it, God did not create work, W-O-R-O-K, as a form of punishment to humanity. You agree with me? God did not create work. Some people, see work as a punishment. No. You are not created, to work. Because God will not ask you to do anything that he himself has not experimented. I also treated the topic. The Bible tells us that God created the earth in 6 days. When he created man, he finished creating man, the Bible tells me that God rested on the 7th day. So I began to ask questions. Like I told you, you have to be like a child. I began to ask a question. Does it mean that God gets tired? No. That's why, out of curiosity, I went to check a very good Bible. I'm not saying other Bibles are not good. I went to check a Bible that has a good translation. The Good News Bible tells me that That word, God rested on the seventh day, does not mean that God was tired from his work. No, God, what it automatically means is that God completed his work of creation. And on the seventh day, he stepped aside. From the work that he has finished. Remember, the Bible said, on the last day, God will destroy the earth and refurbish a new earth again. This earth is full of sinful men. This earth is full of sinful things. So the Bible tells us that God will roll the earth like a mat and throw it into the sea, and there will be a new Jerusalem. I look forward to that new Jerusalem. But before that new Jerusalem comes, we are still here. You and I are here. Can you give me a thumb up? Let me know where you are connecting from. We are still here. You are here. I am here. You see that work is not a form of... God did not introduce work to man as a form of punishment, because God himself started work. He started work on the earth for 7 days, and on the seventh day he completed the work. He rested. On the sixth day he completed his work. The seventh day he rested from he took a detour. He completed his work in 6 days, and on the seventh day he stepped aside. He now gave man, the authority to step in. If you notice very well, man participated in the work of creation. When God created the animals, God made sure that man collaborated, partner with God. When God gave man the assignment, he gave Adam the assignment to name the animals. And Adam named all the animals in the garden. Whatever name he called them, that is the name that they bear. You know what I'm saying? So these are one of the topics I treated. Work is... God did not did not assign man to work as a form of punishment, but rather God assigned man to work as a form of bringing out the productivity in us. Every human being you see, we are wired. You are wired looking for expression. Imagine God threw you in the earth and you are just existing like that. No meaning to you. Your life would have no meaning. So for every work that man must bestow labor on this earth, there's a profiting. God said, the Bible says, for every good work, there's a profiting. God must reward the labor of our love. If you labor unto yourself, you will be rewarded accordingly. If you labor into building the kingdom of God, God will reward you accordingly. Because that tells us the reason why God created us. God created us for kingdom purpose. You were created, to give meaning to your world. Like I'm here right now, my life will not have meaning without you. I'm here live streaming. I expect you to give me a thumb up. That shows we are having a koinonia, a fellowship. You have not given me a like. If you look up the button, first three buttons by your right in your phone, just press it. The like button will come up. I want you to like this life that we are having together. I don't want to be alone. I want to be with you. Give me a like and give me a subscription if you have not done that. I'll be very happy if you do that. Don't feel shy to be the first person to join this live stream. People are very skeptical. If I am the first person, I don't want to be the first person. I don't want to be the only person. Don't treat me like that. Just come on air. It takes two to tango. By the time you and I are having a discourse, more people will join. So don't come and go. Just show forth yourself. Give me a thumb up. Let's talk. As we are discussing, people will join. It takes two to tango. By the time we are two, more people will join us. We are increasing. That's how the level increases, So I want you to, give me a thumb up as you join me at this hour. So I'm still talking. I'm talking about work right now. Work is a form of bringing out your productivity, because man is wired to find expression on the earth. God's greatest investment is in the earth, but God's greatest investment is man. That was why when man fell, why don't you think in your mind that when man fell, why didn't God forfeit man? Have you ever I said today we're going to be asking some questions that linger in my mind. We're going to be discussing it. Have you ever asked this question? The Bible tells us in Genesis that man fell and came short. When Adam ate of the fruit, the Bible tells us that he fell. That falling means that he came short from the standard of God. Why? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why is it that God did not give up on man? God has the ability. He's almighty. He's all-knowing. He's all-powerful. God will have go on and create another man. But the Bible says God did not go on and create another man. You know why? God is not a waster. If the devil has made man to fall, God will make man to come back to him. How does that sound? That sounds intelligent, right? There are some questions we asked when we were young. Okay, if God realized that man fell, why didn't God abandon man and create another man? He has the ability. You know why God did not do that? God is not a waster. If man fell, it will also take a man to, if it takes a man to go away from God, from fellowship, it will also take a man to come back to bring man back to God. That was why Jesus came to the scene. You understand? So you see, God is intelligent. We deal with an intelligent God. So he said, no, I will not create another man. I have the ability. I have all it takes to create another man. But no, I will bring a man that will turn the heart of man back to myself. That was why Jesus came to the scene. Well, I'm just giving some preamble as we go on. Today, my subject, my title of discourse today is that I want to talk about how did Africa find itself in where it is today. How did we come into the position of moral decadence as a continent? You know, from what we have read and what I know, Africa has about 3 billion people on the surface of the earth. That's almost half of the tithe of the population of the world. Africa is the largest continent in the world. After Asia is Africa. I'm giving you statistics. Africa has more than 3 billion people. And on the earth right now, we have about 7 billion people. The earth is growing. So Africa alone as a continent has a tithe of the world population. Are you not amazed? It didn't stop there. Africa has the best brain. Africa is blessed in both human and natural resources. But why are we finding ourselves in this level of moral decadence? It's a question in my heart. It's a question in my mind I've been asking. Because why? I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the liberation of African continent. You know what I'm trying to say? Why is Africa in chains? Why is Africa not, taking its place in the Committee of Nations? Why is Africa backward? They will say, how come we are backwards when we have the best brain in the world? The black man on the surface of the earth, I'm not a racist. Please don't see me as one. It's just a curiosity in my heart. I was asking so many questions, I decided to discuss it on live stream. How did we find ourselves here? How did we get here? Have you ever found yourself in a situation and you are asking yourself the question, how did I get here? Have you ever been there? You have been there. If you are joining me, please can you give me a thumb up? I've not seen anybody like the like. Can you give me a thumb up? Let me know you are there, please. Please, if you are joining me, let me know what part of the world you are joining from. Don't be the first person to give me a thumb up. Just give me a thumb up. Love me, please. Give me a thumb up. Show forth yourself. Tell me you are there. Yes, it's curiosity in my heart. If you are there, let me know. Because I'm going to ask you to talk to me very soon. Yeah, I was asking this question in my mind. It's a question that was just lingering. Have you ever found yourself in a mess? In a deep mess. You find yourself in a situation whereby you can't help yourself. You see, when you cannot help yourself, you are in deep shit. So many questions will be running through your mind. You'll be asking yourself, how did I get here? You see, how you get here is not the issue right now. How do you get out of where you are right now is what matters. You understand? I'm talking to us right now as human. I have been there. Yes, you have been there. Tell me you have been there. Give me a thumb up and tell you I find myself. If you find yourself in a situation, can you tell me what situation you find yourself? Let's discuss it. Tell me the situation you find yourself. Let's talk about it. Tell me tell me the situation where you actually find yourself. Then we will talk from there. Or you want me to discuss my own part of it? I find myself in a situation. Yeah. I find myself in a situation. Yeah. You don't want to discuss? You want to tell me about where you find yourself? Let me know. Okay. If you don't want to tell me, I'm still discussing. Don't forget the topic I'm discussing today is how did Africa get here? How did Africa get into this present decadence that we find ourselves? How did Africa become so backward when we have the best brains in the whole world? We have educated people. They say if you want to hide anything from an African man, write it down. How comes they say Africans don't read? But Africans have one of the best brains in the whole world. I leave you to answer that question. But why I take a detour? I ask a question, have you ever been in a situation in your life then you're asking so many questions. How did I get here? You know, when you find yourself in that situation, what should be uppermost in your mind? How do I get out of here? You understand what I mean? Because what should be in your mind? How do I get out of here? But first of all, you must know how you got in here. How did you get? Well, let me tell you a story about myself. For the past 3 years now, right now, I've been trying to leave the shores of Nigeria. Actually, take my family out, and I tried to get money. And last 2 years ago, and the money came into my hand to pursue this interest that I have. I mean, I'm telling you now how we got in here. Yeah, Nigeria is bad. Let me be specific with you. The economy of Nigeria is bad. Nigeria is a giant of Africa, they say, but the country is bad, both economically, financially, morally, what have you. This morning I was listening to the radio. In 2019, the number of doctors that have left this country in search of greener pastures, who have lost brains. The best brains has left this country. Why? Because of bad leadership that we have. You know, I was one of those people that were canvassing to leave. I must confess, I developed that mindset. And for the past 3 years, I've been pursuing to live with my family. If I cannot leave, let me just have that opportunity. If you are joining me, please let me know you are there. Let me have the opportunity of at least having the opportunity to go out and come in. You know, let me start from there. I have that mindset, and I tried it for several times. And money came last 2 years ago. I began to pursue this venture, but I couldn't succeed. I sold everything that I had, both landed property, everything that I have. I gave it out to pursue this venture, but I couldn't succeed. But let me just tell you one striking thing that happened. I fell into the hands of wrong agents that even promised me a visa for the whole of my family, and I went to Lagos. We boarded a vehicle and went to Lagos. And we got to Lagos with the promise of getting a visa. Well, let me cut a long story short. What we were expecting was not what we got. I mean, we were swindled. Is that the right word to use right now? They played over our intelligence, and I fall into the wrong hands. And I got to that point, the same question I'm asking right now: how did I get here? But how am I going to come out of here that I find myself? So it has not been easy. It has been struggle, but I thank God. To God be the glory. You know, if you have, for you to have developed the mindset to want to travel out, you have first of all traveling your mind. You know, I've first of all traveled out I left the country. I've left. They call it Japa syndrome. If you know what I'm saying. What we call it here in Nigeria, a lot of people are jackpotting. The economy is no longer favorable to us again. So we are looking for greener pasture. You know, but if that greener pasture you are looking for, it's not even that green. Let's call a spade a spade. Because if you go to the white man's country, you're going to slave. In your country that you find yourself, you are slaving to survive. You go out there in the white man's country, which you call a greener pasture, it's not really a greener pasture because you are going to slave for the white man. So you understand what I mean? Because when you get out of Africa and go to Europe, you're going to walk. They call it that you're going to walk your ass off. You're going to walk your asshole off. I mean, just to make ends meet. In that process, some people lose their life. You know, so it's a pathetic situation. I find myself in that. But God did not allow me to step out of the shores of this country. I remained. I couldn't make it. The agents ate my money, and I lost most of my properties. I sell, but it's just the grace of God. Do you know the year? That last year I came back from Lagos. I was stepping into, even before I left for Lagos, there has been this plan to sell. Where I'm staying is an estate. The landlord is planning to sell. And immediately I came back from Lagos, I learned he has sold the place. So you can see I was in a dilemma. What do I call a dilemma? Confused state. Immediately we came back, they gave all of us 5 months to quit. I'm telling you a personal life, testimony of what I encountered in my verge of wanting to travel out of the country. I didn't travel anymore because I couldn't make it. Favor didn't fall on my side. You know, it was difficult for me. I came back, they gave us a quick notice of 5 months to leave the estate. Everybody should vacate. We have about 15 or 13, tenants in that estate. And look at me here, I'm just landing and say, find a place to live. And I've lost money through the verge of traveling. So I was in a confused state. And here I said, leave the place you are staying. So it was a confusing state for me. I was in that confused state. But you see, I learned something in life, which I've been sharing with people. If you go listen to my shorts, I do shorts. My shorts they are nuggets to encourage you that, it's not yet over until it's over. Don't make life push you to the wall that you want to commit suicide. Through the course of having live streaming, I've come across people that say they have been pushed to the wall and they get to that level they want to commit suicide. No, life should not push you to that level that you want to take your life. The life you are using is not your own. It's a borrowed life. God gave you that life. You have no cause, you have no reason, you have no right to take that life. So my nuggets encourage people, not to give up in life. If you are getting to that state, you go listen to my shorts. They will encourage you. When you are giving up, when you find yourself in your darkest moment of life, when you cannot help yourself, your strength, you have lost strength, that is when the strength of God comes in. To help you. So in your weakest moment, that is God's strength. So I'm telling you my dilemma anyway, what happened to me at that moment. I didn't make it for the journey and I've lost money. And here am I, they say we should quit the estate. Thank God for my wife, she's a woman of faith. She said, well, we have not heard God. God has not told us to vacate and go live look for another accommodation. So I had this battle in my mind. And I began to talk to God. I said, God, the money you gave me is for me to travel out. And I spent some part of it I still have. You didn't give me money to go and rent that. Already, you see, when you are set on a journey, it's only your body that is here. But checking you, your spirit soul has left where you are. Actually, I was not in Nigeria. I see myself outside the country. So I said, God, how come you are asking me, this cannot be you, that I should go and rent another apartment? I've seen myself out of Nigeria. But I've not traveled physically, but in the spirit, I've traveled. You know what I mean? When you are planning a journey, you'll be seeing yourself in dreams that you are traveling, a lot of travel, imaginations and everything. So I have struggles in my mind. So thank God for the woman I married. She told me, well, God has not told us, to look for a house. So we were not looking for a house. It was at that period we were doing YouTube. So instead of while people are looking for a house, we were busy doing our YouTube to cross over. Monetize. At that period, and the 5 months came, December period, those people that have left. And at long last, I was able to meet the new landlord, and I told him, this is my plight. I'm planning to travel, and I'm not settled down to look for a house. Can you give me more period to look for a house? Well, see, today I'm still in that apartment. They've not started work in the new land they've acquired. So I'm telling you this story to tell you that you can be in your darkest moment. When you have lost all your strength, when you turn to God and telling you, God will answer the many questions in your heart. That is when you have trust in God. Because actually I trusted in God. I began to ask God so many questions. Till today, I'm still in that apartment today. They've not started work. But with the verge that before they start, I will have moved out of there. I tell you this story to tell you that I found myself in a mix of confusing situation. And I asked so many questions from God, and God answered me, like I said. And when you ask so many questions, what should be in your mind? How do you get out of that situation? Should be uppermost in your mind. I found myself there. And when you have God in your side, I'm telling you, there's nothing you cannot achieve. So I thank God for His infinite wisdom and mercy that has kept me. So I'm still asking the question, how did Africa get into this present situation of moral decadence, that things are so bad? It's a question that I've asked in my mind. It's a question that lingered in my mind right now. I've been asking. I decided to come live streaming to get people to talk with. So please, if you are there with me, can you come out? Can you show up so that we can talk? Can we just have a discourse? How did Africa get here? How did we get here up to this level? Many years ago, they came into our country I mean, took the lands from our forefathers, the white people, and they divide our land uh, Desmond Tutu, Bishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa said. Thank you for joining me. If you are there, can you give me a thumb up? Give me a like if you are there. Let me know you are there. Please give me a thumb up. Let me know you are there. Can you show forth yourself? Can you just give me the like? Can you tell me that you like what you are hearing? Well, I'm just talking about how did Africa get into moral decadence. I'm waiting for the first person that will show up, and let's have a discourse, because you are there with me, and together we are here having life. Well, if you are not showing up, I'm still talking. So, like Desmond Tutu said, he said the white people came to Africa, and then they asked us to close our eyes. And immediately they would close our eyes, they give us a Bible. That was how religion came into Africa. Yeah, well, I read all those things. I read our history. But, you see, immediately we closed our eyes, they gave us Bible in our hand, and they collected our lands. That was the story that was laid down for us, that I read in history books. So, but I do not understand how we got into this level that we find ourselves. If you are joining me, my title this morning or this afternoon is Africa. How did we get into this present decadence that we find ourselves as a continent? Remember, Africa has about 3 billion people on the surface of the earth. That's about a tithe of the world population. After Asia, Africa is the most populated continent in the whole world. Africa has the best brain in the whole world. Nigeria is blessed with both human and natural resources. I'm telling you, in the land of Africa, in Nigeria, I mean, when you throw a grain of corn on the ground, I'm telling you, it takes just minutes, it will spring up. Africa is blessed on all sides. We are blessed, but why are we still finding ourselves? Why are we in where we find ourselves? That's the question that lingers in my mind, that I've been asking. I don't know, nobody's answering me. I'm just talking. I'm pouring my heart anyway. So I've been asking these questions in my mind. I woke up with it this morning. When I woke up, me and my wife were discussing how did we find ourselves here. I go back to what the history they told us when we were young. I borrowed the word of Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa. He said when the white people came into our country, they asked us to close our eyes. And when we close our eyes, they gave us Bible. And when they gave us Bible, they collected our lands. What does that mean? They divided Africa amongst themselves. That was what they told us. So I sat down to analyze this. What went wrong? Is it really true that we closed our eyes and the white people came and partitioned? Until today, we're still under slavery. We're still under bondage in our own country. We have the gold. We have the mine. We have the natural resources. We have the human resources. What happened? They kept us under siege all this while of our life. You understand what I mean? That's the question of the little boy asking a question. What happened? What went wrong? What Desmond Tutu said, is it really true that we closed our eyes and they gave us Bible? Well, Christianity came. Christianity is a good thing. I'm not debunking it. Don't misunderstand me. Christianity is good. It helped us have the true God. But as I grew up as a young boy, I began to study for myself. I came to understand that what they gave us was not actually a lifestyle. As I grew up, right now I'm a pastor. So that's why I can talk like this. You understand? What the Bible they gave us was supposed to be a lifestyle, the word of Jesus. But the people came with a mindset. What was the mindset? When we closed our eyes before we open it, they divide our land. You understand what I mean? So that is a mindset. That is a religious mindset. So instead of them giving us a lifestyle of Jesus Christ, because Christianity is not a religion. Let me correct one thing here. I'm a pastor. Christianity is not a religion. What is a religion? A religion is what regulates your life. A religion is what tells you what to do and not what not to do. You understand what I mean? Religion comes with formula. You understand what I mean? Religion is a mindset of man. It's not a mindset of God. God never had a mindset of people dividing and ruling themselves. What God had in mind is that go ye into the world and multiply and replenish the earth. So when I grew up, I began to understand this. Okay, the white man came with a religion, not a lifestyle of Jesus. What I mean a religion regulates your life. It tells you what to do. It tells you to do this at the same time and not to do this. But but Christianity is a lifestyle pattern after a person called Jesus. The life of Jesus is that, we should pray in season and out of season. Like one of the lifestyles of Jesus Christ, I was studying my Bible on Sunday, and there's this scripture in Mark 14, when Jesus Christ was, before Jesus Christ was to be handed over by what's his name again? Judas, that betrayed him. Jesus went 3 times to pray. He said when he was with his disciple, he stepped aside to go and pray in Mark chapter 14. Mark chapter 14, verse 31 or so. They said 3 times he stepped aside to pray, and each time he goes to pray, when he comes back to meet his disciples, they were sleeping. And 3 times he rebuked them. You should not sleep. Why will you sleep? Temptation will come. There will be time for temptation to come. You ought not to sleep. This is not the time to sleep. Please like the like. I see much people today, nobody's commenting. Nobody's giving me a thumb up. Nobody's telling me where they come from. You're just listening to me. Okay, I'm talking. Give me a like, please. If you like what I'm discussing, please like the like. Tell me you like what I'm saying. Please give me a like. Give me a thumb up. And seeing the people, they're not giving me the like. Please give me the like. Like the like. Let me see. Well, I'm talking. So Mark 14 tells me that Jesus 3 times came and saw that his disciples were sleeping, and he rebuked them. How long will you be sleeping? Can't you wait for me for just this 1 hour? You know what Jesus was foreseeing? He was foreseeing the crucifixion that is going to go through. And he spoke in that scripture. He said, Father. He spoke as a man, not as God. Because remember, he took the form, it was God, but he took the form of man. He cried to God. He said, if it's your will, let this cup pass me. But if it's not your will, let me go through it. That was Jesus in human form. Crying to his Father. But he said, but not my will, but your will be done. I picked something from that scripture that I'm trying to share with us here. So what Jesus was trying to relate to his disciples there is that men ought to pray. That was how the book of Luke 18 came about. If you look at the book of Luke 18 chapter 1, it said that men ought to pray and not to be demoralized. Men ought to pray and not to give up. Men ought to pray and not to be discouraged. That's what's that translation again? There's this translation that says men ought to pray and not to be discouraged. There's a translation that says so, not to be discouraged. I'm quoting the same scripture, Luke 18 chapter 1. Men ought to pray and not to lose heart. Men ought to pray and not to give up. So I'm quoting the same Luke chapter 1, chapter 18 verse 1. That same scripture. That was when Jesus spoke there. Said men ought to pray. So you see, Christianity is not a religion, it's a lifestyle. A lifestyle is a life that you live. From your waking moments to your going to bed, you ought to pray. So prayer is a lifestyle of the believer. That's the lifestyle of Jesus. Jesus came to teach us to pray. He said, pray in season and out of season. That was who Jesus is. So that was what Christianity is. Christianity is not a religion. I'll define to you religion. Religion is a form of having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. Religion is having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. Having a form of godliness, denying the power thereof. Just like what is happening right now in the world. You see Israel fighting with Iran. Iran is mostly a Muslim country. When people hear Israel, people don't understand that Israel is not a Christian nation. Israel is not a Christian nation. Their religion is Judaism. There are more Muslims than Christians in Israel. People don't understand that. You understand what I mean? So people don't understand it. Iran is mostly Muslims that are there. So the religion, the battle that is going between Israel and Israel right now has so much to talk about what's happening in the world. Is religion. Having a form of godliness, you understand what I mean? But denying the power thereof. Because what gives you power is what sustains you. Religion does not give you power. The Bible talks about the Pharisees. The Pharisees are all teachers of those days. They are the Judas, I mean, the Israelites, they have a form of godliness, but they don't have the power. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. So religion is having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. So one thing you must understand is that religion does not give you the power of God. You are having a form of godliness, but you don't have the power. Because what gives you life is what sustains you. Religion does not sustain you. Religion is what makes one nation having supremacy over the other. So the people came with, the people that brought us Christianity they brought Christianity lifestyle, but they came with the form of religion. I believe that's what has kept us under. They gave us religion instead of a lifestyle. So that has kept. This is me now analyzing it, growing up to see all this. And I began to wonder, don't forget the topic I'm treating. What led to the present decadence that we've experienced in Africa? How did we get here? And how are we going to get out of here? It's a question that I throw to you at this moment. So the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I'm speaking from, please, if you like what I'm saying, please, can you give me a like? Please just like what I'm saying. If you like it, give me a thumb up. Give me a shout out. Please, I want you to like the like. And let me know what part of the world you are joining me from, so that we can have a discourse. Well, for me to satisfy your curiosity anyway, I run an NGO called Save the Education and Health of the Child Foundation, and I would like to tell you that I'm a human rights activist in the area of the education and health of the child. I'm also an advocate. My country, Nigeria, right now, I'm talking about Africa, is in mess. We're in a deep shit, we're in a deep mess because of this thing that I'm just talking about. What happened to Africa? How did we get here? Is all these things I've been discussing, because my mind is in the children, our children that are coming. What is the lifestyle of our children that are coming? What is the lifestyle, what is going to happen to our children that we're raising? I sat down and I was talking to my wife this morning before I left home for work. And I was saying, I was crying in my heart. I said, God, these people have kept us slavery. There was a time where there was slavery in Africa. Physical slavery. Our fathers were in chains. They took us from Africa to the plantation of Europe. I'm telling you, our fathers were in chains. They fought. They did all that they did. I'm telling you, slavery was gone. Right now, slavery was not gone completely. There was a modern kind of slavery called neocolonialism. We are still under slavery till today. We can't breathe fresh air. Look at the country that we find ourselves. Do you know the level of how things are bad in Africa? Nobody cares, because they have put structures. They've divided Africa. The white people divide Africa and rule us. So we never had freedom of expressing ourselves. So I was telling my wife today, I was mourning in my heart. I said, God, I know the time of African liberation has come. The time of African renaissance has come. I'm saying all this just to tell you how I feel as a black man. I'm proud to be a black man. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud to be a black man. God did not create me by accident. I began to compare it to what happened in Egypt. Let me go back a little bit. Let me tell you a story of Egypt. You know it very well. What was the genesis? What led to the Israelites going to Egypt was Joseph. You know the story. Israel, which was called Jacob, gave birth to 12 sons, and one of his last sons was Joseph. The meaning of the word Joseph means, I asked him of the Lord. And God, because Joseph was a dreamer, God blessed him so much that God took him out of the land, his land of nativity, and took him to a foreign land called Egypt, because he was a dreamer. He found the solution. You know the story. Found the solution to the problem that Egyptians were going at that. It was the solution of that time. He gave solution to the problem that the people were going. And the Pharaoh of that time made him second in command. That was how the whole of the Israelites migrated to Egypt. You know the story. So what am I trying to say? But when Joseph died, we were told that there came a Pharaoh that knew no Joseph. When Joseph died, the Bible tells us that there came a Pharaoh that knew no Joseph. When Joseph died, there came a Pharaoh that knew no Joseph. You know what I'm trying to say? So that Pharaoh rose up and said, no, I must not allow these people to be. The way they are growing, if I allow them, they will take over the country of Egypt. I think we agree with that Pharaoh that he was thinking right. The people that came from a foreign land, I'm telling you, they are here and they have grown massively. I mean, they are going to overrun the country. And that was what that Pharaoh foresaw, and he saw well. Actually, what happened? He said, let's turn them to be our slaves. That was what happened in Egypt. We all know the story anyway. That was what happened in Egypt. And we know how the people were there in bondage for 430 years. The Bible tells us that the Israelites were in Egypt for 400, and there's a reason why I told this story. 430 years they were in bondage. And God was looking for a way to release these people. They kept crying, they kept crying. I like the way the Bible puts it. He said for 400 years the people were crying. At the 430 years, he said, God said, the cry of the people have come to me. You'll be wondering, for 400 years, God did not hear as people were crying. Is it that God does not have ears? No. There's a time for everything under the sun. That's what the book of Ecclesiastes says. There's a time and a season for everything under the earth. God saw it, but God was waiting for the right time. So that right time came. God raised Moses. You know the story. After 430 years, Moses was the one that was given the mantle to bring the people from Egypt. And he actually brought the people out of Egypt. I said this story to say this. Africa has been in this for many years. But I'm telling you that this is the time of the African Renaissance. Well, I'm happy to announce to you at this moment, at this hour, at this junction, God is doing something right now in Africa that I'm so glad about. Well, in my country, like I told you, I'm an advocate. I'm advocating for a better Nigeria. Whether you like it or not, I am advocating. I'm joining the people that are running the race in this country, advocating for a better Nigeria, whose builder, whose maker and founder is God. Because I believe that God is building a new thing in Africa right now. I've been heralding it and I've been shouting it, and I know God is doing something. I'm telling you, God is raising a new breed without greed. I've heralded it, I've said it several times, and I'm happy about what is happening right now in East Africa, in the Sahel region of Africa, like places like Burkina Faso. God is using a young man in the person of Ibrahim Traore. God has started, the breeze of revolution has started in Africa. I said all this story to say this, that God has started from somewhere. Africa cannot be forgotten. Africa is a very unique continent. 3 billion people on the surface of the earth of Africa. The resources of Africa is being taken to Europe and America, and they left us in poverty to wallow in poverty. Is not God. God is watching. You think God is not doing anything? God is doing something. This is the time of the African Renaissance. I'm telling you, God is doing something right now. I said this to say this, that there's a gladness in my heart because I can see the breeze of revolution blowing across the continent of Africa. I said this with confidence, with boldness in my heart, that God is doing something across the Sahel region of Africa, with people like about three presidents in East African country. Okay, not West Africa and East Africa, Burkina Faso, Mali, and I think in Niger. They are teaming up and they are doing a great work. I salute them. I doff my cap for them for what they are doing. God has started something. I'm telling you, that cannot be this. I use the story of what happened in Egypt to tell you this. With all the suffering that Africans have gone through, you think God was just watching in silence? He was waiting. He was waiting for today that Africans will be liberated. I wish my people to be liberated from the hands of imperialists. I wish the people of Africa is liberated from the shackles of the enemy. I wish Africa is liberated from every form of colonialism and slavery. We have suffered enough. Our children have suffered and died in slavery. I was telling my wife this morning, I said, God, I wish to be alive to see Africa liberated, the day we will raise our hands again. In the book of Zephaniah chapter 4 or so, 4 verse 20, he said, my despised ones shall raise up their hands. God says so. Thank you for liking the like. Thank you for liking it. God said we will raise up our hands. Thank you for liking. I see you like it. Please, if you have not liked, go and like. If you have not commented, please comment. If you have not given me a thumb up, please give me a thumb up. I'm doing a good job here. I'm pouring my heart. Oh, thank you. Who is it? Anthony Olu. Oh, Anthony, please. Kindly what? Like the live stream. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tony. Thank you for coming in. I'm just pouring my heart, Mr. Tony. Pouring my heart the way I felt when I left home this morning. I'm only talking about the African situation. We can't remain where we are. I'm telling you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Greetings. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for liking the like. I'm encouraged by this. I'm just trying to pour my heart. As I was coming from the house today, I told my wife, I said, God, I want to be alive to see that the whole of Africa is liberated. And I'm happy about what is happening right now in the Sahel region. There's revolution taking place from there, and it's going to blow across the whole of African continent. Africa shall raise up hands again. I'm telling you, I want to look that. I want to be alive. I pray to be alive to see that day. That is my confession, to see when we will be liberated. Because I don't want what my father suffered, our fathers in Africa suffered, then we suffered. Then it is being translated to our children. I don't want it to translate to our children. That is my cry. I was crying this morning. My wife was wiping my tears. I said, I cry with so much tears. I don't want suffering and slavery to go on. I don't want to pass that to the generation of my children. Let it end with us. We call upon God. The Bible says in Second Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14, says, my people that are called by my name will turn away from their wicked ways. They will, cry to me, seek my face. He said, I will hear them from heaven and I will heal their land. God is about to heal our land in Africa. I'm telling you, God is about to heal our land. I'm telling you, God is about to heal our land in Africa. I'm telling you, God is about to, and I like what is happening right now. You know, I like what Russia is doing. Russia is backing up Burkina Faso in making sure that they build their country, that Africa rises again. There will be a new world order. The world order is changing right now. I mean, the subjection of Africa by Europe and America will now go down the drain. Africa must rise. It's the season for Africa to rise, to be a world power. I'm telling you what is happening. Nigeria is a focal point. That's why you always see me herald a new Nigeria. I see it is a vision that I see. It's a new Nigeria that God is. Nigeria is a focal point in what God is doing. Actually, the whole of Africa is waiting for for Nigeria to rise up. And I'm telling you, I'm foreseeing it. There's some new boys in uniform, that will take over the government in Nigeria. I'm telling you, they will rise up because they are seeing what is happening in other African countries. They are seeing it. And they want to be liberated from every shackles of slavery. Enough is enough. Enough of turning our people against us. We fighting ourselves. We killing ourselves. Why they come to loot our gold? Why they come to loot our diamond? Why? For how long will it continue? Then our children are suffering. Then we go out there and labor, and sweat under the cold in Europe and America. I have a good news for you as I round up in less than 8 minutes time. I will round up very soon. I'm telling you, in a few minutes I'll round up. I have a good news for you. I'm telling you, I have a good news for you. I'm telling you, I have a good news for you. Good news for you. Nigeria is a focal point in what God is doing. We're just waiting. The whole of Africa is standing up, waiting for Nigeria to take its place. They will rise up. I'm telling you, they will rise up. So, all I'm trying to say here is that please let's join force to see that Africa again is liberated. That is my cry. If you are not here, this is just part one of it I'm doing. Follow me as I come subsequently. I'm just trying to get a community of people that will believe in what I'm doing. I'm trying to gather a community of people of like mind and like persuasion. So if you believe, I just give you a tip of the iceberg. If you believe in what I've said and you stand for the truth, you stand for African liberation, please join me. I'm forming a forum. I'm forming a community. We're going somewhere to happen. Let me end it here. Let me not say everything. You see, you say little and you leave with the little that I know. But I'm forming a community of people that will take the nations for Jesus. I'm telling you, Nigeria is a focal point in what God is doing in this end time. So let's not lose grip in what God is doing. I'm telling you, there's a wind of, the good news I have for you is that there's a wind of revolution blowing across Africa right now as I'm talking to you. A wind of revolution. Revolution, what's revolution? When the people of a nation that are called by God come to that realization that their rights and privileges is trampled upon, and they come together in unity, not in uniformity, and they agree to take back that which is theirs, then we are in a mix of a revolution. Right now, Africa is in a revolution. Right now, there's a wind of revolution blowing across the African continent. There's a wind of change coming to Africa right now as I talk to you. I give you the good news. Please keep it and make sure you run with it, because it's coming to your doorstep at this time. Things have changed. It's not used to be, it can't be the way it used to be. You know, so it can't be the way it used to be. There's a new world order that is coming. There's a change of events taking place in the world right now. I'm telling you, power will change, and Africa will become a superpower. Nigeria is a focal point. Nigeria will take its place. This is what the whole world has been afraid of, but it will come. We are coming to that place. But my prayer again is, I pray that I'll be alive to see that. I'll be alive to see this dream come to life. That's why I come live streaming at this hour and at this season, you know, to look for people of like mind and like persuasion, you know. So we are live, and I'm telling you, we're not going back. All I just enjoying you, please, let's keep praying for this which God is doing. If you love righteousness, you understand what I'm saying. Righteousness is right standing with God, a place where people have the opportunity to express themselves, you know. So thank you very much. Who is that again? I can see somebody. Who is it again? Yes, stranger George for the good of Africa. Okay, we are going for the guests. Strange for the good of Africa is long overdue. Thank you very much. What's the name again? I'm trying to see your name. Ben Lester. Please, what part of the world are you joining me from? Can I know where you are joining me from? Ben Lester. If I don't pronounce your name very well, please forgive me. Yes, change for the good of Africa is long overdue. Yes, change for Africa is long overdue. Please, can I know what part of the world you are joining me from? Is it Ben Lester right now? I don't know the name very well. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name, forgive me. Ben Lester, I am very happy you summoned courage to come in. Can I know what part of the world you are? I won't round up because of you, because I don't want to talk so much. I just want to talk little so we can build from there. But Ben Lester, can I know what part of the world you are joining me from? I'll be very excited to know what part of the world you are joining me from. And please, if you have not liked the like, please, if you in your phone, in your handle, in the right hand side, you'll see 3 buttons. Can you press it to like? If you press it, if you press it, the notification button will open like, and you like and comment, please. Like and comment. It helps the work that I'm doing here. And as you like, please subscribe. Please subscribe, and as you subscribe, please press the notification button. Each time I come with my video, I have fantastic videos that are mind-blowing. I'm telling you, like this one that we're having right now, it will tell you the truth of, you know, so many things. I can't talk about it right now. But Ben Lester, can I know what part of the world you are joining me from? Can I just know? It's good to know so that we can relate whenever I see you again. What part of the world are you connecting with me? Connecting from, I mean, sorry. I just like to know so that each time I come, what we are forming here, we are forming a synergy. We are forming a community of people that have the same mindset, the whole same judgment. From there, we begin to push something big we are doing. You know, they say what is worth doing is worth doing well, and what is going to work takes time to build. You know, at times we come live and we have not gotten the people that we want, but we are still pushing. And you know, for us to do anything, we need money to work. We need money to push our work across, you know, the continent of this Africa and beyond. So we need people of like mind and like persuasion that are joining us. So I just like to know you more. Like Anthony is always joining me. Thank you, Brother Anthony. You are always encouraging. You have always been encouraging. Thank you for keeping the work going. Brother Lester, I just like to know where you are connecting from. I'll be happy to know what part of the world. I want to know you. The reason why I'm here is just to have a koinonia and also to identify people that are part of this community that we're building. So if you show up and tell me what part of the world you are coming from, I'm excited. Well, I'm still waiting. Well, as you are preparing to tell me that, we'll be rounding up in a second because I don't want to stretch this beyond this. But there's more time. I see more people still coming. As if I should keep talking. Well, if you are coming in, please give me the like. Give me the like. I can't turn it off on the people because I see more people still joining. More people are still coming in. Or should we still continue? Well, if you have anything to say, the discourse we are having today, the topic is that how did Africa get into this present moral decadence that we find ourselves? It's just the rumbling of my mind. I'm just what I went through this. I mean, what I slept with and woke up with is thinking about the continent of Africa. How did we get here? Many have come and talked about Africa. They've sung about it and they've died. They've killed them. Well, we don't mind if our life is wasted, as long as we are saying the truth. But we want to see that Africa is liberated. Africa is long overdue. Like my brother here said, Ben Lester. He said, "Oh yes, change for good of Africa is long overdue. It's long overdue. We have been waiting, and we pray that let it be in our time and in our season. More people are coming. I can't stop this live stream because more people are coming in, and I wanted to contribute. The topic I've been discussing so far is, Africa has been, in this moral decadence for decades. Thank you, Ben Lester helped me to put it well. Africa has been long overdue, for this change. We look forward to it. How did we get here? That was a question I was asking. How did Africa get into this mess? I started by giving you a story of Desmond Tutu, Bishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa. He said when the white people came into Africa, they asked us to close. They came with a religion, Christianity. But religion they came with. Christianity was supposed to be a lifestyle, not a religion. But they came with Christianity through a religion. They came with Christianity with a lifestyle through a religion. So instead of giving us religion, giving us Christianity, they give us a lifestyle. A lifestyle is they divide and rule us. Desmond Tutu, I quoted him. He said when they came into Africa, they asked us to close our eyes, and when we close our eyes, they give us Bible in our hand. Before we open our eyes, they have divided our land. You understand? That was where the problem of Africa started from. That is what we are still finding ourselves. So the nucleus of what I'm trying to unveil there is that does it mean that when we close our eyes, our whole brain was closed at the same time, and when we open our eyes, we're not able again to reason. These are some of the things that have lingered in my mind. How right from that time, we still find ourselves, like my friend Ben Lester said. He said the change for the good of Africa is long overdue. We are still on the way to get that change. But one good news I want to tell you right now, Africa is at the verge of change. There's a change, there's a wind of change blowing across the African continent right now, looking for change. I'm telling you, that change will come. I'm telling you, it's on the way, coming right now. So I said this to say this, that the change is just on the way right now. But I think right now I will cut this short so that we can continue from here. So if you're just joining us, I talked about Africa. Maybe next time I'll bring up that topic again. We will talk it. But for now, let's pause and see how we can chew what I've said. But before I go, I want to lay this on our minds. The why I came on air this morning is the worries I have. I woke up with these worries in my heart. Why is it that the moral decadence in Africa has overstretched like this? How did we get here? And how far are we going? But I'm happy to let you know that this is the time of change. We are in the time. Can I switch off from these 10 people? I don't know. Are you asking me to go? I should stay. There are more people connecting, but I'm not seeing your like. I'm not seeing your comments. I want to see your like and your comments. I'm going to switch up at this moment because I want us to continue from here. So if you enjoy, I see more people coming. If you enjoy this moment, can we make it again in the evening? We're going to continue from here. I'm not going to stop this same topic. Africa, how did we get into this present decadence that we find ourselves? That is the topic. Hold it in your mind. Africa, how did we get into this present decadence that we find ourselves today? It's a long topic we're going to discuss. So I hope to see you then. And please keep up the time with me. Thank you.